Hi class, my name is Eleanor Shaw and today I'm going to be discussing my project showcase. So I currently work at an LPN college in Columbus. It's very small and the student population is mostly composed of students who are not from the US. And so there's a language barrier, there's a cultural barrier, there is a technology barrier. And so during the empathize phase, went to the college and spoke with the students directly. I also spoke with the faculty, and the biggest concern is that the NCLEX pass rates currently at the college are very low. So the national average is sitting between 82 to 88%, and the college current scores are 42%. The concern with that isn't that they're not passing the exam, although that is very concerning. It's that the exam is a baseline test used to show if students are fully capable and competent enough to take care of patients after they graduate. It also shows that the college is lacking courses or material is not being presented correctly, that the students are unable to pass this exam. So my goal was to gain and gather insights from students' experiences, emotional needs, while trying to come up with a solution to mitigate this low pass rate. So I focused on what do cultural diverse students struggle with, what motivates the adult learner, as a majority of the student population is above the age of 30, what emotional, cognitive, and technical barriers are hindering these students to be successful, not just in on the NCLEX, but just during the program. So during the empathize phase, I use tools to interview, and I use tools such as interviewing and empathy mapping. And if you look at the screen, you can see my empathy map that I used to kind of establish without bias what are the real problems hindering these students the most. A little snippet of the interview summary. So the language barrier, again, most students are not from the US, so they reported medical terminology being harder for them to comprehend, which is integrated throughout the entire program, not just in one course, although they are offered a medical terminology course. Technology barriers, they're not proficient with any of the technology used in the program, and again, a majority of the program is online. So they access Populi, which is the LMS platform for them. They use Evolve, which is where they get their textbooks and additional quizzing resources. And they don't even know how to navigate checking their email or uploading a document after they're done with an assignment, let alone type on a discussion board. And so there is a huge barrier there. They also are trying to balance school with work and life demands. They feel overwhelmed by the accelerated pace of the program and just trying to keep up with the assignments. Yet they want to be in this accelerated program because the goal is for them to start employment as soon as they graduate. However, the problem is if you don't pass the NCLEX, even if you graduate the program, you cannot work as a nurse. Professors lack support by colleges' limited time to prep. So the college only pays for a very short amount of prep time. And so professors are either forced to create their own prep time that they're not going to get paid for. They also are running into technology barriers in the classroom where students are asking questions about technology, which is taking away from the actual lecture time that they have. Again, it's an accelerated program, and so these instructors feel very rushed to present the material. So during the defining stage, I was able to come up with a human-centered problem, and that is in a culturally diverse LPN program that is accelerated, they are need more support online for NCLEX review, but they need support that is flexible for the adult learner who's again feeling overwhelmed by life's demands, academic demands, and lack of technology skills, and support at the college on their journey to become an LPN. So during the ideate phase, I was able to clearly define the problem using brainstorming and mapping, and I narrowed it down to two possible solutions. One is offer a technology course that's not graded that they take prior to entering the program to learn things like using Populi, using Evolve, able to email and upload documents, and using NCLEX self-paced reviewed modules is the second idea that I have, so students can comprehend NCLEX material at their own pace on their own time and not feel the stress or burden of completing one more task. So for my prototype, I did decide to go with an NCLEX material versus the technology class just because the group of students I was working with have already graduated the program and are getting ready to take the NCLEX. So they've already made it past the technology barriers for the most part, but now they're really struggling with what material is important on the NCLEX versus what is not as important. And so, again, I think it's crucial to take away that while I was creating this prototype, I used CUSIN competencies and the NCLEX National PN Plan to come up with a course that could be done autonomously on their own using YouTube, PowerPoint, and Quizy to test their information after taking the course to see if the course was effective. So this was optional for students. This was not a mandatory course for them. They did this voluntarily for my own benefit and for theirs because it was information that is, again, going to be essential to them for the NCLEX. So during the test phase, I was able to post the information onto Populi for them to do on their own. And students reported back to me during the test phase and during the survey and evaluate phase that they were unable to click on the embedded links within the YouTube video, and they could not copy and paste them either, making it very difficult for them to complete the quiz or look at the other supplemental resources I did provide. So during the survey stage, I did copy and paste this into Populi. I was having a really hard time using SurveyMonkey. It said it was free, however, it wasn't free, and it wouldn't let me copy the link back over into Populi. So in the future, I would like to look for a platform that is free that would allow me the opportunity to have a clickable link. During the survey, most of the students also reported maybe having like a QR code or something they can scan to do the quiz or to access the resources with their phone while they're watching the YouTube video. They really enjoyed having the YouTube link, just an easy click button for them, versus trying to find the file under Populi and then looking for the PowerPoint and downloading it to their computer. They were pretty comfortable and confident with the content, and that shows with the pre and post test I gave them. However, they would like to have slower, more explanations and more interactive case studies embedded into the PowerPoint to gain more information and understanding in the future. Thank you so much for watching my PowerPoint and have a great summer.